Your
At
match.
the Apollo.
Showtime in GB's basement. Merry Christmas.
Yeah, you got the Christmas tree in the background. Look at that.
I like it, bro.
Yeah.
I like it.
'Tis
Very
the
festive.
season. Yeah,
Very festive,
yeah.
man. I know what
Change the
I'm gonna
angle
get.
up a little bit.
You have to, man. You know what? I think the next one I'm gonna hit up with the I'm gonna hit up with the Christmas tree at the end of the man cave over there. Be a little festive and everything.
Now
You got to.
you might hear and see like this big dude just start walking out here out of nowhere. He may just come into the scene because he's not expecting any of this to be, and that's like his. So I have the angle the other way because he's usually down here, but
Right.
I'm not sure what he's going to do though because um they have he has to be at the field house tomorrow at 7:20 a.m. to get ready for the they have a breakfast and then we have a send off and
Whoa.
it's off to
So
Cumberland Valley, Mechanicsburg.
so while we wait, we got some other people piling in here as well.
Yeah.
And I also want to. I'm also just curious as well too with you guys. I mean, what's it like there in the community, man? Getting ready for a state championship game.
You know what? This second time around, and it's been the third time in like what 6 7 years, but the last like the 2019 time that was when the kids were in elementary school, but now they're in my kids are in are sophomores. The kids that I coach are sophomores. Actually, all of them. I've coached every one, ninth, 10th, 11th, and 12th. But
Right. Right.
it last year was really interesting because it was like a lot of excitement, and I don't really think we really knew. Like I always say this, like last year was a surprise. I felt like I didn't really think that we were going to be as good as we were, but Coach Johncore has a knack for just rebuilding and reloading. You know what I mean? And that's what
Yeah.
exactly what he did. He reloaded. But this year was the year that I always felt because I had a unique sense of all the classes because I had coached them and I had coached them for more than one year. I had coached them for several years in youth or in middle school. So I had a really good sense of what the talent pool looked like. And when they got the mix together for the first time, I was like, oh my goodness. So back in like 2018, I'll tell you a quick story. Back in
Sure.
2018, um, we were in the Tri-State Youth Football League, okay?
Okay.
And the Avonworth Eagles, you had Potter Raccoon, which was like a mixture of Aliquippa, Hopewell. It was kind of like, both communities kind of coming together. You had Quaker Valley when they were still still good. They're not as good anymore, but back then they had some players. You had some ballers, what have you. Yeah, like Beaver, Southside Beaver, Midwest, which is like Western Beaver,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
North Burroughs. You had a lot of different teams. Cornell. We had a myriad of different teams. But that year in 2018, our whole organization, the 8U, 10U, and 12U team, went undefeated in the regular season, 24-0.
Wow. Okay.
Okay. And then we went into the playoffs. Every team went to the Super Bowl that year. Okay. I coached the 8U team. We won 42-0. Now, I'm gonna put this in future reference. Now, these are now the sophomores and the freshmen. Okay.
Okay.
The 10U team, or my team won the Super Bowl 42-0. The 10U team, they won their Super Bowl. So they went undefeated all the way through. That's the juniors and the seniors, right? The following year, the sophomores and the juniors played together and we won another Super Bowl. And then the following year, the freshmen and the sophomores won another Super Bowl. Right. So
Sophomore.
it kept happening over and over and over. So I knew like when all those classes came together and finally had an opportunity to play
Yeah.
together,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
and this was the particular year, I feel like it was going to be special. And they're going to finish. They're going to finish the business this time. So this time feels like we know we're going to be here, and it's unsettled too. That's the other part. Like I feel like
Right.
if we'd have won last year, it might not have been as charged. It's a different
Well,
feeling, man.
listen.
It's a no. You know what I'm saying? It's a no.
Yeah, man. Listen, I was watching them that night when they played at Heinz Field, Accra Heinz. It looked like Amani didn't even belong on the same field as Avonworth, and obviously as good as Amani's program
Now,
is.
I was gonna say, put in perspective, the only loss that Clareton had, state champion Clareton.
Yeah, but they won 35-3 today. Yep.
Shout out to Clareton. Beat Bishop Guilfoyle 35-3 today. Their only loss was to Imani. Put that in perspective. And you saw what Avonworth did to Imani.
Something dirty, bro. Something dirty.
Yeah, man.
And you know what? Like I said, it's good, man. I hope that Avonworth can finish it off for you. Be good for it. It's good for any community, but it's good to finish off this type of run for the senior class, the parents, the community. It's something that's historic. It is, and honestly, it's setting up high expectations, but it's setting up knowing how to succeed for your son and his class. You know, to hopefully continue that tradition, continue that work ethic. He's seeing firsthand what success looks like, not only from you as a father and his coaching, but also from his friends and teammates and such. What success breeds, and nothing but success for you guys this weekend. Excuse me.
I appreciate it, man. Those seniors, man, I can't say enough, man. I have such a love and affinity for those dudes, man. I had the pleasure of coaching them in junior high. First of all, they're the most polite kids. First and foremost, most polite kids. They're most well-mannered like kids. After every practice, and it's little things like this that matter. You know, the devil's in the details. There's little things. After every practice, they'd be like, "Thank you, coach." Everyone come shake my hand.
Yeah,
stuff like that, man. In 8th grade, like this is, you know what I mean? This is in 8th grade. Thank you, coach.
Thank you,
coach. We could have beat the hell out of them in the practice. You know what I mean? Had them running all crazy and everything. And thank you, coach. And they would just take it and just run, dude. That's
awesome,
dude. They're
that is so awesome.
Special. Yes.
And before we get into our Steeler talk here real quickly, that's just something that it's going to translate with them into life.
You know what?
It's going to make them successful in life. And that's great to see, because kids that have that much success, it's not getting to their heads. They're still humble. They're still respecting the coaches and such. And that's just fantastic to hear.
I'm gonna end it with this. So I was texting Ryan Neal, who's a really good friend of mine. He and his son Luca just got featured in the Post. I think it was a Post Gazette or Trib. I can't remember which one, but they got featured in the. It was Brad Everett that did the article, and it was talking about how Luca, got his start in Doughboys and the pizza shop when he was 5 years old, and that work ethic is what's really set him up to where he is right now. So I sent Ryan a voice text real quick, and his response was, and this is all fitting. This is Avonworth as in perfect words. He says, "I appreciate the kind words. We are grateful that we have been a part of a community that has invested in each other. At the end of the day, each and every player has been molded by the cumulative efforts of the entire group of coaches, teachers, and families. They will be productive, in caps, men in life, with core memories to pass on to the next generation. Thank you always for supporting and investing in not only my children, but all the kids. The strength of the wolf is in the pack." And that's the Avonworth community right there. I can't say it any more perfect than what Ryan Neal, how he responded to that, man. I can't say it any more perfect.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, it's just definitely good. So yeah. What up, Mark? Glad to see you're giving us a little picture-in-picture treatment, man. Yeah, I'm sure this is going to be a very common thing, having us on as well as watching Thursday Night Football. And that's what we want, right? We want you guys hanging with us, watching some ball, talking some ball. GB's giving us a rundown of the Avonworth, man. Shout out to the Avonworth Lopes. Bring home that state championship, man. It's exciting for that community. And maybe we'll wrap up and give one final shout out at the end of the show, for Avonworth as well. As everybody's piling in here, we got a really good football variety show tonight, man. GB and I are going to talk about the Steelers and Ravens. Obviously, we're not going to rehash anything we said on the vent session on Monday, which was needed. But everybody knows, where we all sit with the Steelers. We're this majority of the community sits with the Pittsburgh Steelers. So we're not going to continue to harp and bitch and complain about what the Steelers are and are not. We're going to focus on, what they can do against the Baltimore Ravens. In transit, and he'll hop on as soon as we get in. We got my man JJ Kitchen from Talking Football with JJ Kitchen hopping in here. We're going to hit a little college football playoff preview in the sense of where it's at with the college football playoffs. Obviously, we got conference championship games this weekend. We'll get a high-level preview of that. And I want JJ to give us maybe a win or two from the Pitt recruiting class. He did an outstanding job on his show last night, going after the and kind of recapping the Pitt football recruiting class, which is actually pretty good, even though they lost out on Matt Sieg from Fort Cherry.
Yeah,
is what it is.
Huh?
Very surprised. And then we got to address the elephant in the room. Yeah. And we are going to have to address the elephant in the room, guys, about the Twitter wars that's going on.
Oh,
and GB and I could speak for GB and I'll let him weigh in, but very disappointed in the majority, non-majority, but the pocket of Steeler Nation,
dude,
that's out there doing what they're doing, including the Barstool guys and all that stuff. I mean,
dude,
it's
why
embarrassing.
Why do you attack specifically? Why do you attack melanated men when they're not playing up to par or not setting the standard that you feel like they should be setting? That's out of bounds, unprofessional, and embarrassing.
Yeah.
I was thinking about something today, Dudek. Today's my parents' 49th wedding anniversary, right? So I want to send a shout out.
Awesome shout out
to Mr. and Mrs. Brown on their 49th year anniversary. And and as I think about my upbringing and what have you, I strive daily to make them proud of me. Does that make sense?
Makes a lot of sense.
It never changes. Like a lot of my why is to make my parents proud, right? So I gotta ask the question, like, these people that are on social media, like, do you make your parents proud doing the things that you do? Like, because these are actual human beings. Like, this isn't any type of animal or it's a human being that you're talking about, and you're putting personal in albeit false allegations, fake allegations out here, and now you're mad because the son of the coach wants to go to fisticuffs with you. Listen, I'm gonna tell you something. I just told you how proud I am to be of my parent. If you come at my dad on social media, my 47-year-old ass would come out here and we would be going to fisticuffs. That's period, point blank. You don't do that. You cross a line. And I think that's where there's a disconnect, and a very embarrassing, and especially when it comes from people who profit off the team. You understand what I'm saying? I mean, the one dude is go ahead, Levi. The one dude has a tailgate every single week. He profits off the team, and he's a part of this stuff. They did the same stuff to Cordell in the 90s, bro. With the gay stuff. That's crazy to me, man. You know what? Like, are you really fans or what are you for real?
So I was gonna wait to do this, man, but you know what? Let's just keep going with this, because I'll do this and get this out of the way. Because I don't like that we're talking about this, but I do believe with what's going on the Twitters and what's going on everywhere else, I think you and I, especially because we're of the same ilk, but I want to get out our feelings from the GBD Uppity or from the Burgh Cave. And if anybody who's watching and wants to weigh in on this as well too, if you don't know about this, so the Barstool Yinzers, and I'm just going to put my phone up to this, basically said Tomlin's too busy in Newcastle. Okay, this is the only time I'm going to mention what it is, because I think it's so disrespectful. And then he's out here. So if you look up I guess you really can't see. Barstool Yinzer says it, and then this I'm not even going to say his name because it's not worth it.
You're not worth
it. We should let his story break already, it's time. What story? The story about him too busy in Newcastle. What are you doing? What are you doing? I mean, just because you don't like the way he's been coaching and on the field, we get it. You're going to really sit there and take personal shots on this dude? You give them enough time, people are going to show their asses, bro.
But wait. Here's the funny part to this whole thing. You know how we always say Yinzers cannot handle a losing season.
No.
They cannot handle a losing season. As we're talking about this craziness, across our ticker, it says the Steelers versus the Ravens for the battle for first place. Imagine that. We're not like 1-11 right now. You know, we're still like, it's crazy to me because we played like some really, 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 really bad ball, and I'm not going to dismiss that, but I'm still have perspective of where we are in the season. Now this thing could go all the way down like Wile E. Coyote here in real quick, or it could do the opposite. All we got to do is just let it play out. That's the reason why they play 17.
Listen, as time passes, everyone reveals their asses, bro. I'm telling you.
Hey, bro, you almost made me spit my whole full squish on my whole computer screen, bro.
Listen, these dudes they're out there enough. They're going to reveal who they really are. When you face adversity, and nobody's facing adversity, these are just fans. And
fans.
They're just fans. There's nothing about them other than they're fans, as well as there's nothing about me that I'm fans, right? I'm just a fan. GB's just a fan.
That's it.
Why do you sit there and just what benefit do you get by posting some rumor and then sit there saying, hey, it's time that this story gets out?
Why? Because he's 6-6.
Why? Because you don't like the way he's coaching? Why? You didn't like the way Cordell was playing, so you want to say that he was in the park doing something? And I think they even had some stuff on Cowher at one point, but not to the level that they had on Cordell. And then I don't know what this is going to go with Mike Tomlin. I hope to God it just stops because it's crazy, embarrassing. It's absolutely crazy. Embarrassing. And then these fans out here, when people are calling this dude out, they want to sit there and have their back. You know why they want to have his back? Because they want to keep going to them damn tailgates.
That's a damn shame.
That's all they want to do is go to them tailgates so they could possibly meet a player because they're backed by Barstool. You know what? Good for them. Do your thing. Keep going with your tailgates. Have fun. There's thousands of Steeler fans.
I don't give a damn what their influence is as far as Barstool. They are not a representation of real Steeler fans. I'm sorry. That's just not.
No.
If that's what you follow, like that's your thing, and you're in cahoots with that, like you like, oh yeah, I back that. Yeah, let's go ahead and tell a story because we mad. As a fan.
I mean, no.
Are you serious? You ain't got nothing else better to do with your life but try to ruin another man's life because you mad about. And you know what I think it is? I've been thinking about this. I think it has a lot to do with Vegas. I think it has a lot to do with spreads and because when money's involved, people act different. I even noticed as an insurance agent. Okay. We send out death benefits, right? My clients get death benefits. Families act crazy. It could be like, $5,000-$10,000, man.
Yeah.
People acting crazy. You know what I'm saying? So when you're talking about spreads and it comes with to winning and losing money, then that's when they start losing their minds. And that's when they start becoming gangsters. I've even seen this, not necessarily with the Pittsburgh Steelers, but I think that has something to do with it. But I've even seen, have you seen the tweets that have been sent out to dudes because they didn't win their fantasy or they didn't cover a bet? Or whatever. Have you seen that stuff, bro?
Yeah, I have actually.
That's what I'm talking about. I think a lot of this has to do with the gambling side of it's one of the reasons why I don't gamble on football. So that I don't have any emotional, I don't have no financial emotional stability to do it, like nothing with that. Like I
Yeah,
can
no.
turn on, turn off, it don't matter. I move on, right? But a lot of these dudes lose money, and that's a problem. You understand what I'm saying? So yeah, it's a little different. It's a little different. A lot of these dudes, not Chavez, but a lot of a lot of our Caucasian brothers, they love to place a couple bets. It's just what it is, you know.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
that
I
so
mean,
it does. So I think that it charges up the emotions a little bit more than somebody like myself. And I'm not patting myself on the back because I can get emotional too. But I think that I come from a different perspective. You come from a different perspective. We respect the game because we played the game.
yeah,
Period. Right? We respect what the guys do on a weekly basis because we understand what that process looks like on a much smaller scale, mind you.
yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? So I don't think that people really understand that process. Like I think people really think that the Steelers be coming out here be like, yeah, let's just fuck up this week.
People, yeah, you're right, and you know what, and even all those like specific data points that people want to call out on the Twitters, everything, just to just to sit there and just say, you know what, this is another reason why Tomlin is we're going on. This is why this and that, another thing. And then they got the nerve to sit there and say that's not a good look for Dino and for the Tomlin family because he's out there defending his father. But they're going to ignore these guys out here spreading false freaking
Let's
rumors.
do that. What about them? Right.
Right? They're out there spreading these false freaking rumors to try to wreck some man's family, all because you don't like the way he coaches.
Right.
All because he hasn't won a playoff game in 9 years. So the hell what? This man has a family.
That's crazy.
I don't understand. And yet you're going to back him and say, you talk that, man. Keep piling on Tomlin until he's out of here. Y'all are
That's
stupid.
So crazy. Stupid. That's not a representation of a.
And I had a couple comments, by the way, and I had a couple comments in some of the previous videos when I was calling Dockish's thing stupid. Another talk. You know what? People can have their opinions on a lot of things.
Sometimes
there's a lot of stupid tweets out there, and this is sure as hell one of them.
Just because you tweet don't make you smart.
Yeah.
You know
what up, man? What's up, bro? What's going on? Your boy Jamal from Talking Trash. Yeah, welcome, man. Glad you could hang with us for a little bit, bro. Appreciate you.
Cheers.
Adam, you're all right. A lot of it's clickbait too, man. And I don't know what else. I don't know what else other than the clickbaits and clouts because they got this Barstool name behind them. They got to go after Tomlin and do shit like this. That's just, it's stupid. It's probably why that one Steeler Nation account that's actually associated with the tailgate blocked me on the Twitters. Good. Good. Don't want part of their asses anyway.
Oh, man.
I don't need them to go meet somebody on a team. If I run to somebody, great. If I don't, that's fine too.
Game? Are you still going to the Miami game?
I don't know yet.
I'll be there.
I might have to go.
There. Me and Omar are going to be there with two of our business partners. We're going to be in 220 something. I'll get you the ticket info, but
all right.
Don't let us end up parking and we got to walk past that shit.
Bring some Skittles. We'll explain We'll explain the Skittle joke some other time for you guys. It's back through our childhood. All right, man. So listen, we've given that topic a little too much airtime because I just respect the man that much, Tomlin that much. I expect him he's a family man. Who cares what? Keep your opinions about the man on the field. That's it. So on the field, though, we got the Baltimore Ravens.
Yes.
Thank you, Mark. I appreciate it, buddy. Appreciate it. These are not your same Baltimore Ravens, man. No. So these aren't your same Pittsburgh Steelers either. However, it gives us hope. Lamar Jackson battling the hammy and the ankle. If he cannot go, he did not practice today. If he can't go, they got Tyler Huntley. And how about this? This is another feather in the cap of Coach T, at least in this. Ravens are 5-12 without Lamar Jackson.
Jesus.
You lose your franchise quarterback, your record tends to sink very quickly, except
Imagine
ours.
that.
Right? Except
Imagine
ours.
that.
Last week against the Bengals, he was 17 of 32 for 246 yards, 0 touchdowns, and 1 pick. So I got to look at this because we always wanted to know, what is Lamar Jackson when he can't run? He is one of the most dynamic athletes and dynamic quarterbacks we have ever seen in the NFL, outside of Michael Vick and probably Randall Cunningham, though Randall Cunningham wasn't nearly as fast, but he was still a great, great athlete. And honestly, I'm going to throw Steve Young in there too. I think Steve Young wasn't as flashy. But he was one hell of a runner.
Yes, he was.
Since coming back, right? Since coming back, the 5 games which they have won up until yesterday, right? So I mean, up until the last game against the Bengals. Since returning from injury, Lamar Jackson's completing 60% of his passes for 972 yards or 195 yards a game, 5 touchdowns and 3 picks. Mind you, the game against the Dolphins, he threw 4 picks, threw 4 touchdowns. So take the Dolphins game away in 4 games, one TD, 3 picks. But only his best game, his highest game, was against the Dolphins. He's 18 of 23 for 204 yards and the 4 touchdowns. This isn't the same. This isn't the same team. So can they get one on the Ravens? Henry has 931 yards rushing. He's 4.7 yards a carry. It's not what he usually averages. Although they got, is it Elijah Mitchell? Well, I don't know if it's Elijah, but he's number 34, like a younger scat back.
Keaton Mitchell.
Keaton Mitchell. That man he's dangerous.
Yes, he is dangerous. You got Justice Hill, too, still.
Justice Hill's always good. Listen, Zay Flowers is good.
Yeah.
They just gave they made an interesting move, though, is they gave
Mark Andrews money,
the contract extension, and likely is going to be a free agent next year.
That's crazy.
You would think that they would have
flipped that.
Flipped it.
That's crazy talk.
So GB, what is your take on the Ravens right now? How much have you seen of the Ravens? And because they do seem to be a shell of their former selves, at least this year.
Yeah, they absolutely do. I watched them during Thanksgiving, and the I mean, that actually the game could have been so much worse if Cincy wasn't kicking field goals in the first half. It could have been so much worse. You know what I mean? And they still beat the snot out of them. And that surprised me a little bit. But the other part to that is that styles make fights.
Right.
And last I checked, we have had an extremely hard time stopping the run without Derek Harmon and Deshaun Elliott in the in the lineup together.
Yeah.
And it's going to happen again. Right? So that's the part that concerns me the most, and it doesn't matter if it's Tyler Huntley or Lamar Jackson. The question's still going to remain, can we stop the run? I saw some very, very bad tape last week. People just getting sealed, no outside arm free, basic fundamentals just to be able to contain. Just wasn't there. And that's the part that worries me the most, that this could go downhill quick because there's no fun. Like, the fundamentals are terrible. That's the part that really hurts my heart. I'm like, how are you? How is it this bad? Like, I don't understand that. So
yeah,
I'm really like. And then the last part I'll make about this game is that I'm very concerned because Baltimore played on Thursday.
Yeah, they got
a
10
longer
weeks
time
or 10 days. Yeah,
and it was back-to-back home too. So they're gonna have they be playing with their hair on fire, man, on Sunday.
I,
And
I,
I just don't know how we're going to respond yet. That's the part that I'm not
yeah,
1,000% sure on. I just don't know.
yeah. Neither am I. It's. I think you said this a few games ago. Is like which Steeler team is going to show up. I bet you
Yeah.
bet your sweet ass they're going to see that duo run scheme the Buffalo ran.
Whew.
You bet your sweet ass the Steelers are definitely going to do it, right? And a couple of things here too. Adam first saying Cincinnati can push the ball, made the Ravens throw, which they're average at best, especially if Lamar can't run like he normally does, which creates coverage coming off there. It's like that conflict, right? You go after Lamar or do you stay in coverage? You stay in coverage, he kills you with his legs. You come up, he's going to kill you with his arm. In most cases, on both. Without the legs, I mean, Lamar's a pretty accurate quarterback, but without the legs, let's see, because he looked very average, very, very average against Cincinnati, whose defense is not that great either.
No.
So we'll see. And Blood Magic, what is wrong with our team? Seriously, without blaming Tomlin. Of course, we're definitely going to keep it. That point has died. It's out with everybody else. Obviously Tomlin is part of the problem, not the problem.
No, he's not the ultimate like it is the
Yeah.
players here. The players specifically, well, no, all of them have to come to a conclusion, and I feel like that this game is going to tell us the story of the rest of the season. I don't really think there's going to be a 9-8, 10-7. I think it's going to go extreme, one way or the other.
One way or the other. You're probably right.
I don't think it's going to go 9-8, 8-9. No, I don't think we're going to keep losing or win. Like, we're either going to right the ship and ride the momentum, or we'll continue to sink and go down like the Titanic. It's going to be one of the two, man. I promise you.
Hey, yeah, how many times have you seen it happens in the NFL more than it does in college? You get a team that's playing like the Steelers are, and then you could get a team that's playing like the Patriots that's won 10 in a row.
Right.
1 week can flip it either way.
Just like that. Yep.
And if you're on the side of the Steelers where they're not playing well, they made a lot of moves this offseason, unfortunately not playing on Harmon, because of what Baltimore did to the Pittsburgh Steelers last year.
Yeah.
There's a lot of feeling a certain type of way with this team right now with the Baltimore Ravens, because it is your rival, and the way that the Ravens beat the Steelers twice at the end of the year, in the regular season and in the playoffs. If they are not up and playing with their ass on fire this game,
yeah,
because this game puts them essentially a game and a half in the first place until that last game of the year.
Yep.
Then you're right, GB. It may go down very quick. What I think is wrong with this team, to answer Black Magic's question, there's some schematic issues. There seems to be some ultra-conservative play calling on defense. And if you remember the Chicago tape that we broke down in our episode reviewing the Chicago game, well, actually, I think that was my solo episode. But if you remember, GB, I'll use this as an example, and this is extrapolate this out to a multitude of calls on the defense. It was 3rd and 4, 3rd and 5, right before the first half. Chicago had the ball, and they threw it was almost like an inside screen where the receiver comes out and comes back down underneath the middle of the routes.
Yeah, okay.
He caught the ball, 3rd and 4. He didn't get touched until he was 8 yards down the field because the coverage was backed off that much. Yeah. They went ahead and kicked the field goal. There was that one where DJ Moore was so wide open. They motioned to a trips, and they still stayed in a 2-deep safety look. And then when the receivers released, nobody jammed them or rerouted their routes. Guess what happens? You got Ramsey trying to cover 2 guys, and they're 20 yards apart. Someone's going to be wide open. That's what I think. Terrell Austin makes those calls, but I think Tomlin has input on the situational defenses.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of blame to both of that. I can't blame the execution of that. And I think there's situations throughout the game, throughout each week on offense and defense that is a cause for what in the hell you're doing. Dan Orlovsky, who people like to make fun of him because he's the guy that ran out of the end zone for Detroit, but the man knows ball.
He does.
There's a lot of guys on ball that I've seen. Chase Daniel, I like to watch a lot. You know, a lot of these ex-quarterbacks, they're watching this tape, and they all have the same question. What are they doing? So that is a Tomlin thing. That is a Terrell Austin thing. And then at times, like that first play on Buffalo's game, Joey Porter has outside contain, and he's out there. His ass is inside shoulder of the tight end. Listen, there's a reason Tomlin said this was going to be a legendary defense because we thought it was going to be.
Yeah.
I think they're putting them in bad positions, and they're not executing. It's both.
Yeah.
It's both.
Yeah. Yeah. I never thought in a million years that we would be having these issues with this defense.
Yeah.
I never, not especially when we got Harmon and Ramsey. I was like, man, this, and then Echo start playing well, and that's the crazy part. Like, because all the players have shown flashes of playing well with brilliance. It just hasn't all come together yet. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the part that is the most, like, it's so damning, man.
Yeah, I wanted to bring Adam's comment up here because I believe so. Obviously, we know Harmon's not playing, but yeah, this is a huge game for YA.
Yeah.
And I think for a little bit he should be up to it. Maybe not the entire game because I'm not going to put that much on a rookie. But man,
he's shown some good tape and some not so good tape.
Which is what you expect, right?
Sure.
This is what you expect. So yeah, I'm looking forward to him, and that's obviously the captain's going to have to play well. Other guys have to get in there, but it's going to have to be more of a collective. If they're in there playing with their asses on fire, and we'll see what PQ if he's playing. If not, Holcomb's going to have to come in there and play.
Man.
But if you're taking out no Harmon, no PQ, no Elliott, although I think Duggar's done a good job, but he's not a run supporter. He's not the run supporter that Elliott is.
How about the release of Darius Slay? In favor of Asante Samuel Jr. Interesting, huh?
Yeah, so real quick, it's funny because we've told you guys this before. GB and I do not do pre-production. We just get on and hit record. I literally was going to talk about 2 roster moves, and that was the first one. And you know what? Mark's been hanging out with us for long enough because Mark has a comment about a question about another move as well that I was going to bring up. Like, we're starting to know each other, man. This is awesome. We're starting to know each other. We're starting to know each other. So, yeah. So, Darius Slay. So, I got something that's really – well, first off, Asante Samuel – we talked about this on Monday. Mm-hmm. Very impressed with Asante Samuel coming in, being – cold for 18, 19 months. And I thought he played very well. And that's telling. And I really do think the release of Pierre was because of what Asante Samuel showed on tape and in practice. Also because of what Pierre is now showing. Because Pierre's improvement kept coming out of nowhere. You know, he was always obviously a very, very good athlete, but he seemed to put it together up here now. And he's playing very well. I think that led to release of Darius Slay because I also think, regardless of Tomlin's here or not, I think that Asante Samuel Jr. might be somebody they want to sign long term.
I agree.
So they want to get a look-see.
Yeah.
So what do you think about that? I mean, and then here's the funny thing is he got picked up claimed on waivers by Buffalo. And then I don't know if it's good. You can't tell when there was some of these fake accounts just saying he wants to retire. Then he's going to retire, but then Buffalo or the Eagles want to swoop in and claim him.
Yeah, I don't know.
Is he trying to Brett Favre?
He's trying to make his way back to Philly.
He's trying to Brett Favre his way back to instead of going to Minnesota, he's trying to go back to Philly.
I guess my thing is why would his tape want him to go? Why would Philly want him back? You know what I mean? Based off of the injuries, tape, because the tape was not.
It's not good.
Mean, that's the reason why he was in the position he was in, is because the tape wasn't good. He looked like he lost a step, and I can understand why he wanted to contemplate retirement because, I mean, look, that's the thing, and you know they crushed the front office for taking that $10 million risk, and justifiably so. Like I get it, you know what I mean, but it was a risk, you know, high risk, high reward. Sometimes there he is, big boy. Here he come. Here he just what is pink thing? Look at hey bro, look at this. Look, because he got
What?
his braids. Yeah, show me your braids.
Got,
Because he got his braids.
oh,
Right, so he got to
hey,
cover.
those are
Yeah,
championship braids right there.
championship braids right there, man.
Like it.
Yeah, yeah. So I said, big boy, come down. Hey, he's 218 pounds now, bro.
That's awesome, man. That is awesome.
He's a big boy.
Awesome.
They said he was Oh, I gotta tell you the story real quick. He was
Yeah.
at the gym on Sunday, right? And I see him working with his trainer, and he's hitting these three. He's doing like 3 set reps, but he's doing it quick, boom, 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 right? Right. So I see him at 185. I'm like, damn, bro. I was like, when you start doing 185 that fast, right? Then I see him at 225. I'm like, so when he went into the car, I was like, hey, bro, when you start blasting 225 up there like that so quick? He said, Dad, that was close grip. I was like, I don't even believe you. Hey, bro, I text his trainer right away. Text his trainer right away. His trainer verified it was close grip, bro.
Mm-hmm.
He was hitting on 225. Strong dude, man.
I
never had that.
I'd hurt
bro.
my wrist.
Like, dude, I crushed my shoulders, wrists, everything.
Hey, Black Magic said
dude.
his son wore those head things too.
Yeah.
Oh, good. Hey, GB, Mark's got a question for you, bro.
Oh man, he is a jack of all trades. He is the backup setter. He's the backup linebacker. He's on punt return. He's on punt team, kickoff return, and backup guard too. So he's everywhere. Like he's everywhere, and he's the first one off the. Like if somebody get hurt, he's the first
like the
one.
6 man in basketball, right?
And he really like the 6 man in basketball. But it's cool because he's only a sophomore, you know,
Yeah.
and puberty hasn't hit all the way yet. Like some of his friends, you know, have sprout up to 6'2", 6'3", whatever.
Yeah.
He's still kind of like 5'7", 5'8", but he's getting strong as an ox. And I know there are gonna be a couple more inches hitting. So when it hits, and he's already. Dude, I think right now, because just looking at that close grip 225, like as fast as he's putting it up, he could probably PR probably about 315, 325 right now. His PR was 260 in the summer, and he never went back to it. Yeah,
that's awesome.
Yeah, he's strong,
that's
dude.
Awesome.
But that's the thing. Like he's been doing this since bro, since
youth.
2018. Like
youth and strength, man. That's good though.
Yeah,
that's good. All right, so Mark had the other part of my personnel question.
What's that?
Which is late, in the sense of it
Coach
happened.
Thielen.
It happened to Lace, right? Adam Thielen.
Coach Thielen. Yes, sir.
Coach Thielen.
Yes.
So, Mark, to answer your question, is the best route runner, 100%, not even close. Will he help the wide receiver group? He should. Right? He should. So should MVS. Pat Freiermuth should be helping the tight end room. Jonnu Smith should be helping the passing game. But for some reason, we run our offense through Kenneth Gainwell.
Make it make sense.
I don't know. I like this side. If you remember, and Mark, I know you've been watching us for a while, and I think anybody else that's been hanging with us, even before we started doing lives, GB and I have always said, even when Pickens was the number one, before we traded Pickens, and then even when after the trade of Pickens happened, which none of us wanted, what kind of receiver did we want? We wanted that intermediate route runner to move the chains. And I think Adam has said that a few times on some of our chats as well. We need that intermediate route runner to move the chains. That's what Adam Thielen is. But I have no idea if they're going to use him.
No, neither.
I'm glad they made the move, but you had MVS again. Thielen and MVS are not world beaters at wide receiver,
Right.
but they can help.
Right.
So they should help. We'll just got to see if they will or not. And that goes back to Black Magic's question too. What's wrong with the Steelers not outside of Tomlin is on the offense? I don't know. I don't know what they're doing. There's a lot of talent on this offense, and they're just choosing not to do it, not to use them. There's no reason Freiermuth should be playing 17 snaps a game. I mean, if you're only playing 30-some snaps a game because you can't keep the damn ball.
Did you hear the excuse that he gave?
What's that?
Did you hear the excuse that he gave?
Who?
Arthur Smith.
No.
He said that because Jonnu Smith, the package that Jonnu Smith was in, was working. It was working out. So he just got stuck. Like he was like stuck in the shuffle. He's like, it's just what it was. But I'm like, well, Jonnu ain't really been doing nothing right. So why did you put Pat in the spot where Jonnu was? That's all I thought. I'm like, seemed like you probably need to come off of Jonnu a little bit and work with Pat a little bit. And I've been hard on Freiermuth, real hard on Freiermuth. I got his jersey and all. I took it off, But he's been showing some things, and I thought that by him showing things and Jonnu showing nothing so far, very disappointed.
By the way,
be a baller.
Jonnu's showing nothing on my fantasy team too. That jack off.
Nothing, bro. I thought he was gonna be so much of a better weapon, and he's not. I
thought he was gonna be like. I already thought that him and Freiermuth would be over 45 catches each. Then DK would have probably been in the 60s, and we'd have been humming on offense a little bit. But I'm not sure.
Hear me out for a second. Right, we be talking about how the Steelers don't throw in the middle of the field, but Jonnu Smith had a choice route to go to the middle of the field. He didn't run the middle of the field. So how many routes have been run wrong? He was supposed to go in the middle. He ain't go in the middle.
Listen,
how many of them things have happened? That was just the first time that we love.
And you say that, and we're talking about that one right before as they were going in to score, before they got stopped in fourth down and before the Renegade came and all the shenanigans. Bro, I was sitting, it happened right in front of me. And I turned to my buddies and we were at that game. It's like Jonnu, I was like, that's 100% on Jonnu. To the point where you had dudes on the Twitters that had never played football. They might not even played Madden. Well, probably Madden. They look like they're just Twitter stuff, right? These dudes, 5'8", $140, never played ball in their lives, calling this out. If they know, and it was clear he was doing this.
Bro, he called it.
He called it, and it's clear as day. He did it twice to him. This was, and what I'm thinking, and the one guy did it. Now, he must know ball in a sense of like just terminology, right? Because I went back, and I even went to my playbook to figure out what it's called. When you have either when you're on a 3x1 and the two outside guys either run hitches or like a little hitch and an in or like a little mini in and out. And then the third guy takes the guy to the corner.
Yeah.
Well, the 3x1, because DK was on the other side,
right?
You saw the safety started to creep over,
right?
Because he was doubling DK. And that's when Rodgers did this, because that means instead of going to the corner, you take it to the inside. There's not going to be anyone there.
Yep.
And Jonnu was like, fuck it.
Yep.
I mean, so you're right. I mean, that could be the doghouse, what you're talking about. And I also think that, you look at that, that's not a Tomlin issue. That is not a Arthur Smith issue.
Correct.
That is execution and on the players, which is always why we've said from day one, it is a collective. And they all seem to happen at different parts of the time when it shouldn't. And that's why you can't sit there and blame one single person or even just coaching for that matter, because a lot of times it's just players' execution. Because if Rodgers is doing this, it means it's in the offense, and it means it was coached. Those adjustments were coached.
That's how that works.
That's how that works. And if they're on the field and you got one guy screwing it up for everybody, and when they did that, you could see that in the two outside guys, they kind of did one of these. You know, you see the guys always tap their helmet. That's what I believe that is. That should be the acknowledgement that you got the audible.
Got it. You got this. Yeah, you got to play.
Yeah, if you see this
audible, check.
Yeah.
Check.
Yep. Yeah. Yep. If there's a check at the line, this means I got it.
Yep.
Right. And now there could be like, hey, you know, in the huddle, they could say, hey, this is a dummy. Everybody, I'm gonna call something. Everybody just do this, and It is what it is. We're just running the play. But when it isn't, this is the acknowledgement. And I have to go back and look. I don't think I saw John do that. And I'm sorry. I think Aaron just threw it to make a point.
That's man. So I expect to see Freiermuth in the lineup.
Yeah, I hear that too. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, they made eye contact. The only other way you do that, you call a timeout. And then if you call a timeout, you come out there's a threat that they're not going to be in that same defense.
My question is, why ain't John looking at the quarterback to begin with?
Yeah.
That's basic.
Yeah, exactly. I mean,
check. That's automatic. Everybody else did it. He did not.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? Like, everybody else did it. He did not.
Yeah.
I mean, you can talk about Aaron Rodgers all you want, but the fact remains that Jonnu Smith screwed up on the play. Period. Point blank. The end. That's not to say anything against, you know,
Mr. Wiping the players' asses. It's true. And John, you know what? And the thing is, John is he's a better player than that. You don't catch 88 balls in Miami because you stink and you don't get things. It's just, listen, I'm now a more firm believer than ever because he's played for the Steelers now for 11 games, 10 games. He's a cerebral up here.
Oh, Aaron Rodgers.
Aaron Rodgers is a cerebral up there. If you're not on his level mentally.
And that's the problem.
And that's the problem.
And I think that's one of the reasons why they brought Thielen in, because Thielen is that. Because even if Thielen may have lost a quarter step or whatever, he'll be in the spots that Aaron Rodgers needs him to be in.
Let's hope that they're over the middle as well, too. And,
will be. And I think it's going to open up Roman even that much more. I think Calvin Austin's going to be out there. You think he's going to be out there? You be a punt returner, you be Sky Moore. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, that's it.
Yeah.
Right.
But man, listen, I mean, you can have your opinion on that, and that's cool, man. I disagree. He's definitely not the MVP, and we never expected him to be that. He doesn't suck, though.
You want Mason? Is that what you want?
Yeah, you're going to have Mason.
You want Mason? Because you're not going to see Will Howard yet. That's not going to happen. This ain't Madden, bro. Like, they're 6-6 going for first place. That's not – I'm sorry. Respectfully, they're not going to put Will Howard in a situation where it's 6-6 for first place. They're going to go Aaron Rodgers because that's who they trust the most. Period. The end.
The only way I want to see Will Howard is if they get to the point where they're 6-9, then I want to see Will Howard.
Correct. 1,000%, bro.
Yep, they're 6-9. Start Will Howard the last two games.
Absolutely. And then let's see what we got.
Especially if Baltimore wins a little bit.
Because Baltimore just kept winning. You know what I'm saying?
Correct. Exactly. If we're 6-9 and Baltimore kept winning or keeps winning, if they win, then you're out of it because you're not getting a wild card this year because of what's going on in the AFC West. So then you just let them play, and then that's basically your preseason, and then you have those two games to make a decision in April. But let's worry about the Ravens. If they beat the Ravens, we're having a completely different conversation moving forward. So,
if I'm being completely honest, I would not.
Mr. Tummy, you're right. You're right.
Like, I'm kind of at peace either way.
I am too.
Like, I'm really, like, for real. Like, if we go like balls to the wall and we win, great. If this thing bottoms out, great. Because now we're back in position. We got 12 picks. Like, I don't see a lose situation here. I just don't.
We said
the future of the Pittsburgh Steelers. I'm not talking about Mike Tomlin. I ain't talking about Omar Khan. I ain't talking about none of them. I'm talking about Pittsburgh Steelers. for the future of the Pittsburgh Steelers, it's a win-win situation either way, as far as I'm concerned. Because if they win and win out and go deep, great, woohoo! We all happy as fans again. Everybody happy. We come back, kumbaya, excited for the draft. Guess what? You'll get the same effect if we finish 6-11 because we'll probably have the 8th pick and we'll have 12 picks. We might move up to get the 2nd. You know what I mean? So it's going to be excitement one way or the other.
Can have your cake and eat it too.
Does that make sense?
It does. It does. So that being said, and I got a text here. Our boy JJ got caught up in traffic, so he may still hop on here. We may hit him for about 15, 20 minutes here.
2-minute warning.
We'll get him. I told him the warning. So he said that coming through Dormont and the wreck in the tunnels delayed him. So hold on a second here. I'm 61. Started following Steelers in 72. 6 Super Bowls to show Steelers fans need to have realistic expectations and patience.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Let it play out, man.
Let it play out. Listen, if it's all about championships, then no one's doing it better than the Steelers.
I mean,
so other than one other team. And it's more, I guess, just of an appreciation of how hard it is to win in the NFL. And GB and I are just as upset about the playoff drought as anybody in here. It's just we're not ready to, like we talked about earlier, we're not ready to spread rumors of people's families about it just because we're upset.
Let me ask you a question. What do the Steelers, the Chargers, the Bills, the Ravens, the Jags, the Texans all have in common in the last 10 years or so? None of them ain't won those Super Bowls. Ain't not one. But which one have had franchise quarterbacks lately? Everybody but the Pittsburgh Steelers. And yet we still stay in contention. Like, people look at that like that's the easiest thing to do in the world. No, the hell it ain't. No,
it's not. But like I said, this year there's definitely evidence of probably got to need to move on from Tomlin. And I don't disrespect, and I do not.
Yeah.
And that's fine, correct. And that is definitely fine. But there's definitely been some.
Tomlin probably like, man, get the fuck out of here. I ain't
Get me the hell out of here.
I'm too old for this shit. Told you. He on that Lieutenant Murtaugh right now, bro. I'm too old for this
shit. That is true. 4 to 8 weeks to get a package. Now it's next day delivery. That's a microcosm of society, Mr. Tummy. You're right.
It is.
You're right. I'm not even watching that yet. I actually got to put that. You know what, Adam? I'm actually upset. My Amazon Prime is on that TV over there, and I just had it off. I just sat down. We started recording, so I know I'm missing a good one here. But
and you can see behind me, my son's playing Grand Theft Auto. So there's that.
There's that.
You saw the PlayStation.
I do see that. I was hoping maybe we get like a Madden game we could watch.
He was playing Madden. He was like playing Madden for like 5 minutes, and he switched to Grand Theft Auto.
NCAA and an update.
Yeah. I do agree, Adam. I do think it would be a Tomlin trade. Or if you guys remember, this will be the last thing I want to get into the Ravens predictions is, do you guys remember how Troy Polamalu left? He was asked to retire. I really think that's – I'm going to put this on here. I'm so everybody can see these. I do think that's actually the way that Tomlin's going to go, or it's through a trade.
So you remember last year there were rumors about Chicago calling about trading Tomlin.
Yeah, they confirmed that they did.
Yeah, and ended up getting Ben Johnson, and they probably
worked out well for them. It worked out well for them.
But it wouldn't surprise me if they get a couple more calls.
Giants.
Mm-hmm. And and for me, quite frankly, that's the best route.
It is, because you know what? And I will tell you this: if he's available, there's going to be coaches that are fired because he's available.
Yes.
If that's going to happen, that means a team's probably going to get rid of a coach knowing that they're going to be able to go get Mike Tomlin, and if all parties agreed on it, then they're going to go ahead and fire. It'd be one of those ones where Team X fires head coach, blah blah blah. Next day, team hires Mike Tomlin or traded for Mike Tomlin. It's going to be one of those type of things.
Let me ask you a question. Do you feel like the Rooneys should change their philosophy this year. Like hypothetically, if they move on from Tomlin, whether they fire, usually part ways, trade him, whatever. Do you think they should change their philosophy and look more for an offensive-minded coach as opposed to a defensive-minded coach? And I'm going to give you some names.
Yeah, I'm going to answer that, and I want to hear your names. And real quick, Mark, you're right. If he does it, but what my understanding, what a no trade clause means is Tomlin has to sign off on the trade then.
Correct.
They just can't willy-nilly trade him without his input. I believe a no trade clause means Tomlin has to, or player would have to sign off and agree to the trade. They just can't. Tomlin wouldn't be able to walk in the building and go, "Hey, we trade you to the Giants," and he's like, "Well, shit." That's what a no trade clause means, I believe. So don't quote me on that, but I believe you are right, though, Mark.
I would though sign off for the Giants. I think he would sign off for that.
I think he would with the Giants because of what they have on defense, and then they got their young quarterback who is seems to be good, but he's got to prove himself still. Showing flashes.
Correct.
So to answer your question, and I'd love to hear everyone else's thoughts about this. We're eventually going to get to our Ravens picks. I promise you, but this is a good conversation. Yes, but here's the thing, though. You're going to have to couple that with a defensive mind that can play with a majority of the young players schematically because it's built a certain way. Listen, I would not even worry about Cam and TJ moving forward. Cam might retire regardless, even if TJ's here 2 more years. Or I don't think they trade him this year. And that would just be too much of a huge cap hit.
Yeah.
But they would have to be able to play with those players within a scheme defensively. But you have a quarterback like Will Howard, and then anybody else, like I say, like a Yinzer, or anybody else with maybe like a running quarterback, a dual threat type of dude.
Yeah.
Then you would want to do that because I think you have the running backs to do that. Jalen Warren, even Gainwell, but even Johnson can do that.
Yeah.
You have a young, athletic offensive line, and I hope to God that Broderick Jones's injury isn't like career threatening. Anytime you say neck and back, I hate to see that because he was improving.
You see what the dude did? Like that was crazy.
Yeah.
Like that wasn't even a football move.
Yeah, I know that's what scares the shit out of me about that. But you would think about it. So even if you put him or there or not, if not, you could try to get another left tackle like him.
Yeah.
DK's there. Okay, so you have Roman Wilson and receivers. I hate to say it, but they're like a dime a dozen in the NFL just because in the draft because of the way the college game is. Because of the amount of picks you have and the 80-some million, it could be more if Cam retires. You have the tools to retool your philosophy, if you will. Even if you kept Mike Tomlin and you don't want to do that and you just come in with a coordinator that's an offensive guru.
Yeah.
I think you should change your philosophy because the NFL is changing. And I still think you can play power football. You can play. Honestly, I'm not even a fan of Arthur Smith's system. I just don't understand his personnel groupings right now. But I would change it to more of an open 4 and 5 wide type guy.
I agree with you. And I don't understand why he, some of the things just don't make any sense. And the lack of depth at the passing game. You know what I mean? Like that's the part that's really disconcerting. Like it's
Sure. Adam, who's that mentor? Is that a in LA from one of the Chargers or Rams? Is that like an OC or a passing game coordinator? What mentor are you speaking about there, bud? Yeah, he is cheap when it comes to paying coaches, 100%. That's what we're also talking about when people want to sit there and yap about, Tomlin's coaching tree and things like that. Look, Mr. Rooney, allegedly, because of what I've heard from Charlie Batch, has Mike Tomlin shopping a Five Below for coaches. They don't want to pay him. Okay, so you're saying the DC from the Chargers. Yeah, I mean, anybody from them or like the Shanahan coaching tree, the Rams from I I'm drawing a brain for it from his coaching tree. You know, I don't know if I want to bring a college guy in here, maybe as a coordinator, but I mean, we ran that college experiment with Canada, failed miserably. But so there's a lot. We can get to that in the off season, but I do think that we would want to have a new fresh look as well too. So GB, I just got the text. So let's wrap this up here. We're gonna let JJ hop on here for a little bit. What do you think? What do you think the Steelers are gonna do this weekend?
All right. In order for me to continue to die on this hill, and it's getting harder and harder every week. I feel like I'm about to be dead. I feel like somebody about to take me out, bro.
You're gonna be dead and the hill and the hill is crumbling.
For real. But I gotta stay on the hill. I gotta stay down the hill, bro. Like as I said, that's what I was gonna do. I'm a man of my word. So I'm gonna say by some way, some hook or crook, we're gonna see a video of walking your trap, take over your trap. And we're gonna have you're gonna see Tom and like, and we're gonna pull this thing out. I'm gonna say Steelers 24, Ravens 13.
Yeah. I'm gonna, you know what? The last couple games, I picked them to win, and they lost. So therefore, I'm gonna pull the old Eddie Murphy Jedi mind trick. And is this a continuation of the imperfect storm that leaves the organization no choice? And not going to get rid of him because it's his first losing season? That would be absolutely stupid. But I do think it's to the point where you're right, GB. It's either they're going to rally this week and they're going to turn around and it's going to go, or it's going to fall. The whales are falling off the wagon.
It's going to fall all the way off.
And it's going to fall all the way off.
It's going to be like 2003, bro.
I don't see it any other way. Until
that season was so shitty, bro. 2003 was so shitty.
But
we ended up getting Ben though as a result. So ain't nobody all that mad. Like I ain't gonna be all that mad.
Listen, I'm saying this hoping, and I'm saying is a damn Jedi mind trick. I'm gonna say 27-20 bad guys.
6-7.
And I
6-7.
Listen, there's so much for me that don't want them to be 6-7 because of that stupid shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, geez.
Hey, bro.
Hey, man.
Ain't no doubt, bro. Look,
no doubt,
I'm going to literally down this hill, bro. Like I'm gonna be stubborn with it because like I said, I'm a man of my word. And nah, I ain't gonna be wishy-washy with this. I got like a little sliver of hope. Like
as do I, man. But man, am I just sitting here?
Plus, the fan in me wants to see the turnaround. Still, you know what I'm saying?
So
like, how do you not want to see that? I guess it'd be my question. Like, how would you not be wanting to still root for that? But at the same time, if it doesn't happen, like I'm not rooting for a tank.
No,
but it may organically happen that it ends up just being a tanking season, and I'm okay with that. Like it's just what it is at this point, and I'm telling you, it's a win-win situation as far as we're concerned as fans. Like look at it from a win-win standpoint. I'm trying to help you change your perspectives so you don't have to go out to people's personal lives and stuff. You can enjoy the season instead of worrying about people's personal lives and people being in Newcastle or not. Like that's crazy to me.
So we got. No, I'm sorry. So we got one.
So you got and bro, and even if we go like 8-9, 9-8, we end up with like the 15th, 14th to 16th pick, we still got 12 freaking draft picks. We can move up anyways. There are we're in the driver's seat as far as I'm concerned in any scenario, bro. Any scenario.
So 1 win, 1 loss, and I guarantee you the entire city of Pittsburgh over the age of 25 does not want to be 6-7 because of that stupid meme. I'm just telling you that right now.
Oh my gosh.
So we got our Steeler talk in. We're gonna go a little bit extended tonight, not too much extended, but we want to bring in a guest who was battling the Pittsburgh traffic and the tunnel monsters of the city of Pittsburgh.
The
Talk a
tunnel
little college
monsters.
football as well. Welcome in our friend J.J. Kitchen. How are you, sir?
Gentlemen, what's going on? What's going on, guys?
What up?
I am glad you're able to make it home alive, battling those tunnel monsters.
Oh man, it's that time of year, man. Nobody knows how to drive, and it's cold out, snowing a little bit, and then coming from some events, man, downtown, especially from Lawrenceville, man. It's not easy at this point.
Oh, it's
It's
snowing
definitely not.
outside now.
A little bit on the Lawrenceville side, yeah. We were down there in Lawrenceville for a couple events tonight, and it was starting to snow a little bit.
Oh,
Dang it.
well, it's hey, I want in the month of December snow a little bit. That's cool. January gets cold, and after that, get out of here. I want spring.
Me and you both,
Facts.
brother. I can't stand the cold.
No,
feel the
I like it
same
during the
way.
holidays. After that, get out of here.
Yeah.
Hey, so a lot of happenings around. Let me ask you this real quick before we get into some college football. Because there are a couple things I'll talk to you about. GB and I just said GB has the Steelers winning, circling the wagons, if you will. I have them losing. Although I want them to win, and I want them to win just because I don't want their record to be 6-7 because of that stupid shit.
I know.
Real quick, what do you think of the Steelers' chances this week, and what are you looking for them?
So, I mean, obviously, to your point, Eric, I do want them to win because that 6-7 shit is just pissing me off at this point. I mean, I'm not gonna lie to you. Like, it's just reaching a point. Like I just want to 6-7, 67, just beat this shit out of people, man. I just like every time I hear it, just annoys the hell out of me. But
Hey, JJ, I've been doing it to do that going here on purpose. Just to see
Oh,
you get mad.
God damn.
Hey, before JJ continues, anything that would piss him off even more is if you incorporated 6-7 into Sweet Caroline.
I would literally run on the field and tackle somebody myself. Just to fucking cause hell.
Yeah, just to cause that right. Terry Tate. the
Like
opposite
my
of
hatred
that.
for Sweet Caroline plus 6-7. I mean 6, 7, 4, 8. I'm beating your ass till the earth quakes. I mean, that's what I'm gonna be doing.
Bars. JJ with the bars. All right, so
God damn.
what do you think about the Steelers, Brandon? What do you think they're going to do this weekend?
Brother, I think they're in trouble. I think it's going to be a bad weekend. There's a number of things when you look at this team and where they're going. It was only a matter of time.
Yeah.
I thought, maybe, hey, Tomlin could turn the tides a little bit, try to work his little bit of magic. But this roster's really struggling. I think there's a lot of guys playing for themselves right now. This is not a traditional Pittsburgh Steelers team. There's a lot of me. We talk about at Pitt, we, not me. There's no I, there's no me. It's only we. But here, there's only I's and me's. There are some real concerns for me. Usually, when you look at head football coaches across the country, whether it's in college or you go to the NFL, we've seen it in places, whether it's Philadelphia, whether it's in Kansas City. I mean, it doesn't matter. Some guys just the message gets worn out. Tomlin's in a tough place. He will not get fired. For people who are wondering, he's not going to get fired. But there will certainly be a conversation if he has a losing season this year, which is it's going to be close. I would think they're going to be 9-8 or 8-9 is my projection. I think they'll split with the Ravens, to be quite honest with you, like they always do, usually most years. But when you can't stop the run, there's no communication on the back end with the defense, you've got problems. And then on top of that, when your offense is absolutely anemic, and you refuse to adapt to the current NFL style of being able to actually throw over the middle of the field. I know Tomlin talked this week and said, it's just not there. Guys aren't open. Roman Wilson, if you watch his route patterns, he's not open. He's not getting enough separation in there. But Adam Thielen, I think it's going to be a really good addition to the team, to be quite honest with you. But the real question mark that I have is that, I don't see Aaron Rodgers playing this week. I think it's going to be Mason Rudolph. I'm just not a proponent of Mason Rudolph. I just, he's had his time. I just think it's going to be a rough road going forward. I don't have them winning this game. I don't like how the Steelers coach schematically on defense, but also, too, how they crash their ends on the running back and don't have their actually outside ends having contained against a guy like Lamar Jackson. There's a lot of questions, and it really is a shame because, I'm not a tank guy. I really, you want to do everything in your power as a competitor to win football games. I don't believe in the tanking bullshit. I really don't. That's not the Pittsburgh way. That's not the Pittsburgh Steeler way. That is not how we are as people. That's not how we are as a fan base. But also too, I was just really embarrassed. You saw the Green Bay Packers take over Acrisure Stadium. And then you saw the Buffalo Bills fans absolutely torching Steeler fans for being quiet. That's not Pittsburgh Steeler football. We don't, when we see people booing Renegades, I mean, that is a major, major, major red flag. I mean, we've had our Matt Canada boo chants, and we've had our Randy Finkner boo chants. We've had our, quarterback boo chants. I mean, we've had that, the defense. We've never had, an entire crowd, saying fire Tomlin and booing Renegade. It's a tough time to be a Steeler fan, man. And I just think that I know the way Tomlin wants to play. I know enough people in the front office, Andy Weil, a really good friend. It's worn out, and it's getting harder and harder to play defense in the NFL. You have to score points. And this team, in this philosophy and this schematically, is just it's not going to do it no more. And I think it's going to crumble eventually here. And I think it's getting to a ticking time bomb where when you got guys like Cam Hayward having major issues with how guys are performing, also losing his cool when he's getting, kneed in the stomach where, I get what he's saying, but he's also, he's had his fair share of punches in with a number of quarterbacks too. I mean, we all have eyes.
That's true.
It's all part of the game, and I've got a real concern.
On the field, right?
Yeah, definitely no Boy Scout. No.
Yeah.
No. All right. Well, hey, listen. You know what? I'm definitely gonna put my black and gold on. I'm gonna be a fan, but I do hear what you're saying, JJ, and I think there's, GB's he's picking him to win because he's dying on that playoff and Super Bowl hill. He's got to.
JJ,
he's got to.
I got to die on this hill because that's what I said at the beginning of the season.
Shit.
I gotta go. Look, I'm taking all the bullets. I don't care because I'm a
he's
man
taking
of
all
my
the bullets,
word,
bro.
Damn it, I'm a man of my word.
As Caesar said on the last night of battle, we're fucked.
But you know what? Here's the crazy part. If by some stroke of miracle, if God shines his grace and favor all on the Pittsburgh Steelers in the month of December and January, and they find a way to take this thing all the way to Super Bowl, guess who's gonna be the one motherfucker on the hill? This guy.
You.
That's right.
That's right. That's right. All right, hey,
go.
So, JJ, obviously, when I bring you, I was watching I watched a rerun of your show talking about Pitt's recruiting class, and obviously, beyond great job at highlighting that for everybody.
Oh yeah.
It got me excited, even though there was a last minute switch with the Fort Cherry kid going to West Virginia, which I think he's chasing a bag more than anything. You know what? Go get your money, kid. I don't understand. I don't think it's going to be a good fit for him.
He might get that bag for a year and then take off somewhere else. You never know.
He could. So and again, if anybody wants to watch his full breakdown, go check out JJ's pod. He does a full breakdown of the recruiting class. But I want to hit a couple highlights here for you. One, your thought on Sig leaving for West Virginia, and I'm looking at this and I'm seeing Nicholas Howard from Texas, the offensive tackle.
Yeah,
big guy. I'm seeing they actually got a running back with some meat on his bones, 5'11", 190, which when you get into college, that should turn into like 210, 215 as well. Again, from Gwen Oak, Maryland.
Yep, Damon Ferguson. Yep.
Yeah, Ferguson. So talk about Sieg's last-minute departure from what you heard, and then give me one or two stars in this recruiting class. And again, if you want to check out the full breakdown, check out JJ's podcast on his channel.
Yeah, so the Matt Sieg dilemma really, the people say really came up in like 24 to 48 hours. It really didn't. From a number of sources that I talked to, it was really signing day. Signing day turned into the type of event where it becomes a bidding war. And for people that don't know, Notre Dame had an offer out there and it had a number out there. The minute Sieg went above it, they pulled it. Notre Dame pulled their offer before signing day. Indiana saw the number that we had, which is roughly about $500,000. They pulled their number. It was really down to us and Virginia Tech. Really, same number, really about 500,000. It was kind of what it was allegedly. And I think what people don't understand is that's a really good number for a guy coming out of 1A football in Western Pennsylvania. And I love our Whitfield guys. From what I was told through sources, the alleged number was a 2-year deal out of West Virginia for about $1.2 million, $1 million guaranteed in his freshman year, and about $250,000 his sophomore year. Is that life-changing money that some people say? No. This is 2025 going to 2026. Shit costs a lot, and along with taxes. Taxes are really a good, fun thing for us adults. So the kids will eventually find out when they make business decisions, and some of these kids are. But this young man wasn't on campus for about 8 months now. The last time he was on West Virginia's campus. At the end of the day, congratulations to West Virginia on getting that guy. Congratulations to them. But Pitt's got a lot better of a roster than what West Virginia has, and there's guys they're fighting to keep right now with Rasheem Biles and Kyle Lewis, trying to hide them, from the NFL draft. That's going to cost us millions of dollars. Mason Heinchel will cost us millions of dollars, and he's already signed his contract. That'll come out to the public eventually here. Buster Faulkner, the offensive coordinator over at Georgia Tech, was hired from Florida today. I expect Cade Bell to be back. Clemson's looking.
Nice.
Yeah, I just saw that today. Yeah.
Clemson's looking for an offensive coordinator. Do they go after a guy in conference? Who knows? I kind of look at Cade Bell as a lot like a Brennan Marion. We're surfing for jobs during the year and after the year, so you never know what goes on out there. Potentially some other staff moves, potentially new offensive line coach. I know Coach Bornowski, there's some stuff going on there in terms of offensive coordinator positions from coaches and agents that I've talked to that called upon him as well. We'll continue to monitor that. But overall, Matt Sieg, congratulations to him. You got your bag. But to the young men and women out there, I really, truly want you to understand something. Money's important. It's why we go to work. The three gentlemen you see on your screen here right now, myself included with Eric and GB, we go to work for the mighty dollar. There's these two gentlemen above me have kids. They got people to worry about. As a young man that does not have a family, sometimes you pass the big almighty dollar for the right opportunity to be developed and go to the right place in the right system. When you don't visit a university for about 8 or 9 months and they come in at the last second like they're mercenaries, hey, all I would ask and all I tell you is really think about the opportunity. I get the opportunity that's there with the dollar that's there. It is a lot of money to a lot of people, heck, including myself. But there have been jobs in my career where someone has doubled my salary and I've said no because the people that I'm going with would not be good enough for me. And I think that comes with maturity, that comes with, educational standards and what you're really looking for, knowing what you're looking for. And I can't stress enough to parents, your job isn't to be friends. Your job is to be parents. And sometimes people don't want to hear that and parents don't want to hear that. Your job is to be parents and to guide your kids in the right direction. And I understand you're allowing your kid to make that opportunity and to make that, that decision. We're seeing it across the country right now. We've got people, not signing on early signing period because they want to pray about where they need to go. I can tell you they're praying, but they're also looking at the dollar amount that's going next to their that contract they're going to be getting. The Syracuse kid right now that's supposed to be signing with Syracuse, Fran Brown's a hell of a football coach. To be honest with you, I think he's probably too good to be at Syracuse. That's how good of a football coach he is. But the Matt Sieg situation is going to be one to be interesting. I do believe he won't be there in 2 years. I think he'll be out the door.
Not.
I think he'll be looking at another place. If I was Pitt, I would certainly not let him go to Pitt. That'd be my opinion. And we all have tough decisions to make. But at the end of the day, allegedly that's the offer that he got. I wish him nothing but the best. We want to see our Whitfield kids do great, but you got to make the right decision for the right individuals. And I think it's really important that you do that. So congratulations to Matt Sieg. Congratulations to West Virginia. You got your guy. But Pitt is headed to the portal, and they will be spending millions of dollars at the offensive line, at the defensive end position. And don't be shocked if they try to go get a veteran wide receiver as well. In my opinion, that I think they'll probably go after. When you look in this class here today, Eric brought up a really good point. Damon Ferguson, 4-star running back out of Milford Academy, which is a hell of a football institution in high school. Gwynn Oak, Maryland. Anytime you get somebody out of DMV, they're tough, they're physical. There's no bullshit in between. Damon Ferguson, you watch him, as Coach Lamar said, he's a guy who can do exactly what Desmond Reed can do, but he's bigger and he's stronger, and he can have the durability to play at this level. I think he's going to be a player to watch in the 2025 class that could really play as a true freshman. Next up, to your point, Nicholas Howard, offensive tackle out of Pearland, Texas. 6'5", 285. We wanted to get guys with size. We wanted to get size that love that nastiness, that love the ability to get after the defensive lineman and just push people out of the way. Just kick some ass up front. You want guys that embrace violence. Bill Fralick always said it the best. And I remember when I was there in front of him as a young child, listen to Bill Fralick say, there's nothing better than moving one man from one space to another against his will. Because I am the man in that situation. No one will out-dominate me. That's why he was a Heisman candidate. Offensive lineman and offensive tackle getting Heisman votes. Only offensive lineman to ever get Heisman votes. Bill Fralick, by the way, great man. Yep. Next up, I think you got to look at here that I think it could play as a true freshman. You have those two guys there. Really, I think Howard will probably need a year, but one guy to watch out for that I really truly do believe, and I'll put two guys on here that could play, as a true freshman. Number one is Reston Lehman, hometown hero out of Peters Township.
Yeah.
This kid, they have him as a linebacker online. He's going to be playing defensive end in this Pitt system in a 4-3 defense, 6'4". He's really 230 good right now. By the time he gets to Pitt, he gets in the Pitt Ironworks. I think he'll be about 235, 240. He don't even need to add that much weight because he's already at that point. He's a physical specimen.
Is he coming to spring ball, bud?
Yes, sir. Yes, he is.
Is he?
Yeah, he's going to be a hell of a football player with us, and we are excited about that. Early enrollee. I think out of the 21 recruits that signed with Pitt this early signing period, 16 will be coming to early season camp and up there in spring. Reston Lehman is that kid. I talked to his defensive coordinator, who was actually my defensive coordinator at Mount Lebanon in 2013. You might remember the name Coach McMillan. That's Donovan McMillan's dad. He's a defensive coordinator over at Peters Township. He was my defensive coordinator at Mount Lebanon. Hell of a football coach. I mean, little Mac was running around when I was a senior in high school. Seeing him grow up as a young man now at the Cleveland Browns. When Coach McMillan, who's a phenomenal football coach, I mean, the guy's tough as nails. I mean, just great football ethics, great football IQ, but just a great man. That matters the most, high character. Yeah. Talked about how he even said, Reston Lehman was the best kid he's ever coached in high school. That says a lot because Coach McMillan has coached a lot of great football players, including his own son. And I think Reston Lehman could be a kid you see at defensive end because of the physical specimen of just how he's built. And he'll do anything that the team needs him to do. But I think he can be that good. The next really guy.
Good, dude. He is so good.
Really good football player.
Clutch
football player.
Yes.
The other kid that I think that could play early, got to talk to him a little bit during the process, has done a phenomenal job. We were able to hold off Michigan. Michigan had a good NIL offer. We came in pretty strong, stronger than Michigan. It was linebacker Marcus Jennings at a Cass Tech in Detroit, Michigan. That's Archie Collins' area, who Archie Collins is by far one of the best recruiters on this football staff. Archie Collins, Corey Sanders, and Ryan Manilak. Guys are absolute studs. And you got Coach Barnowski that's on there too. Marcus Jennings, again, 6'2", 200 pounds. This kid plays. If you watch his tape, his first step, he loves being involved in the run game. There's nothing better than waking up on a Saturday morning and fucking somebody up. This kid can really do it. He just truly embraces it. I mean, like literally, this kid is that physical.
The fact that they took someone out of Michigan's backyard like that's impressive.
Brother, let me tell you something. Go look up Cass Tech Institute up in Detroit, Michigan. There's some damn good football players you get out of there. You can get a kid out of Cass Tech. You got yourself a hell of a kid. But last but not least, there's going to be, I think, this kid, comes from a great family, great father. I talk to him at least 2 to 3 times a week. because I love the man, and I know he's going to be watching here tonight on Eric and GB's show here tonight because he told me he was going to be watching. I told him about the show. Wyatt Villarreal out of Salina, Texas, tight end, 6'5", 226 pounds. This kid, I mean, he's got over 65 receptions, over 700 yards receiving, and has 6 touchdown catches on the year in 6A football in Salina, Texas. He's going to play for a state championship here this weekend. This kid is physical, works his ass off. I actually posted a video on Twitter. His head football coach sent me a video and said, this is what I truly think about this young man. He talked about the work ethic in the facility and outside of the facility. Watching tape matters. Understanding your assignment matters. Dominating your one-on-one battles matter. I think Wyatt Villarreal is going to be a hell of a football player for Pitt. Again, 6'5". It's hard to find tight ends that grow like this. This kid's going to be a hell of a specimen, and I'm excited to see him at Pitt.
Absolutely. If he puts on 10 pounds of that, which he probably will, I mean, it's a tight end position, especially the way Cade Bell plays. How many times have we seen tight ends coming in motion, coming out, releasing? He likes sneaking, when they did the 11 personnel.
Yeah.
Right. Which just seemed to be kind of like their base personnel. They always had the tight end off the outside shoulder of the tackle and motion a lot, splitting out wide in a 3-by-1. They can utilize his size. And I think that's something that's missing. Somebody who's 6'5", 230 was somebody that dynamic was missing in Pitt's offense last year. So if he can come, he can probably come in and be an immediate contributor. And I'm excited to watch it, man.
I too am excited to watch.
Me and you both.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, very, very excited, man. So, yeah,
and I'm also excited.
Yeah, GB.
Something you mentioned is Mason Heinzel already signing. You kind of said it. You kind of said it as a matter of fact, but I heard it. That's a huge, because that was one of the things I was concerned about because of the way he came onto the scene and how much would be thrown at him as a result of that. You know what I mean? So I'm glad to hear that, he has a commitment to be with Pitt and staying with Pitt. And that in its own right gets me extremely excited. And then when you compound that with the class that they have and the returning players that they're going to have coming back as well, man, it's really everything's looking upwards, trending upward for the Pitt program.
Yeah, I mean, we're pumped up about this class. I mean, at the end of the day, I think Mason got to talk to his mom and dad a lot. I mean, I'm in banking, his dad's in banking. I'm at First National Bank. He's over at Huntington, and one really good head on their shoulders. You know what I mean? Really good people. Never even thought about leaving Pitt, but also too, at the end of the day, Pitt's paying over 7 figures in terms of keeping Mason Heinzel here. When that comes out, people will be excited. I think when it comes to this Pitt football roster this year, it's going to be between really $17 to $19 million this year.
Wow.
We were allegedly at $14 million this year. I mean, it just continues to grow. Alan Green has done a phenomenal job. Very excited about, this football team and where they're going and the overall progression of what they need to do to be successful. And, but then again, this is a big year for Pat Narduzzi too. It's time to show up and show out. And one thing I love about Alan Green, and I'm a huge fan of Alan Green. One thing he said the other day on 93.7 The Fan, which I thought was pretty good to Doran Dickerson, was hey, when we look at our coaches, we look at them at the end of the year and say, does the investment match the results? Again, he's like, I have great relationships with these players and with these coaches, but does the investment match the results? And I think that Alan Green is getting on the verge to make a splash. And again, I'm talking about Pat Narduzzi. Things could be worse. You could be Penn State right now on your 17th coach right now. Again, they're in conversation with Matt Campbell tonight. So
I saw the Matt Campbell stuff, and it's funny because I was looking at this. I was going to ask you about it just quickly because obviously that's been a shit show. Somebody retweeted the CEO of Purdue Farms and Land O'Lakes or Iowa State alumni. Just saying.
Yeah. Yep.
Because the way they got
and guess what? He's meeting with the president tomorrow morning. I got told about that this evening, that they're meeting tomorrow morning to talk about numbers, potentially keeping Matt Campbell. If they lose this year, which I will tell you right now, from sources that I've talked to, Pat Kraft is not even involved in the search anymore. President Neely, she's involved in this thing right now, and she's really pulling the trigger. They tried hiring. Actually, this morning, no one knows about. They tried hiring Brian Daboll, who I actually thought would have been a really good head football coach. Was really good offensive coordinator at Alabama. They missed on him. If they missed on this year, there's a problem. And and I think that Penn State didn't realize when you fire a coach that's winning 10 or 11 games, you got problems. I mean, when a lot of coaches didn't like that.
I heard Terry Smith was getting some head coaching in some smaller schools, but he was getting some head coaching looks too.
He getting offers
between UConn and Memphis. I got to say, I toss that up to good job by Terry's agent. I will say this: Terry's doing a very good job promoting himself. The players didn't walk on the football field with the hire Terry Smith signs. I can promise you that right now. He's doing a good job. He's doing a good job promoting himself right now.
There
but
you go.
I think right now the biggest problem that he surfaced, from my understanding, is that the new generation that's at Penn State right now was very unhappy with him walking out on the field with a 409 pin on his shirt. With everything that happened with Jerry Sandusky and Joe Paterno, I'm pretty sure Penn State doesn't want to turn back, especially with the media. Yeah. But the old school guys, Jay Paterno's still there, and Jay Paterno's calling a lot of shots. He's gotten into a lot of arguments with LeVar Arrington. LeVar Arrington, who is a legend in the Whippeal, a legend at Penn State, is not happy with guys like Jay Paterno. There's a lot of infighting there. It's not a good spot to be in right now. That's for sure. And I can tell you this, Sataki was going to be he's a great football coach in my opinion. Would have been a very odd fit at Penn State. He is a guy, Samoan descent. Yeah. I think he's just phenomenal for BYU. The transformations that he's involved in, he's just a hell of a football coach. I think I just see him at BYU. I couldn't see him at Penn State. I just really couldn't. No. The Polynesian culture is so strong and so religious. I mean, it is a hell of a culture. They're strong individuals. When I'm going to, if I'm a Pittsburgh Steeler scout, I'm looking for a fucking Samoan that's coming out in the draft. I got news for you. If they has even 2%, I'm drafting that guy. We got Isaac Sayamalu, who's a tough son of a bitch. We got Fontenot at right tackle, who's tough. You want those kids because they're extremely tough. Polamalu, especially long hair with strength. That the book, especially too the story of Samson. I'm telling you, man, there's nothing like it.
Yeah. All right. So we're coming up on the playoffs, and there's this interesting topic I want both of your gentlemen's opinions on. GB, I'll have you go first on this, and JJ Wennis. I'm going to put something on my screen right now. This is the projected playoffs, playoffs. So we still have Texas Tech and BYU playing. And JG, remember, you were at the house watching that game the first time, and Texas Tech just throttled BYU.
Yeah.
I expect them to do the same.
I do the same.
I do. I do the same. Ohio State and Indiana, I don't know if much will change. If Indiana wins, maybe Ohio State goes to 4 or 3 or something, especially if it's close. Number 10 is what's interesting, and I don't agree with it right now because Miami beat Notre Dame.
Yeah.
And I want to play a clip for you guys about this Notre Dame, and there's one other point I want your guys' opinion on. I have this bookmarked, and I'm going to put this up. You're going to just hear the audio of this. And this is the committee talking about like Notre Dame and say something like Alabama and such. So give me a second here. This does not sound like somebody who should be on a committee because this is not how they should be doing it.
Went on the road, had a strong win at Stanford, but Alabama went on the road in a rivalry game. Looked really good, especially in the first half, getting up 17-0, ran the ball well. Auburn came back at them. They had a great gutsy call on 4th and 2 late in the third quarter to get a touchdown and then got the turnover late in that game. And I think that was enough to change the minds of a couple of committee members to push Alabama up ahead of Notre Dame in this week's rankings.
I want to show AJ and Siski and everybody what would really go down in
like
the
what?
Ole Miss debacle. With
Hold on, sorry.
Appreciate everything you've done, but
You're talking about them almost blowing the game against Auburn because it's a rivalry game. Why Alabama's ahead of Notre Dame? And then what
That
about
is
Miami and all this stuff too? It's such
Yeah.
bullshit.
It's such a crock of shit.
It
And,
is a
you know, first off, Miami should be ahead of Notre Dame. I mean, head-to-head
Period.
matters. Notre Dame played the
Period.
football game. They lost. Guess what? You wanted to change it, go win the football game. That's number one. Number two, it's funny how that works, though. When Alabama or Georgia almost loses to Georgia Tech, that's okay, though. That's tough. Alabama almost loses into dog shit Auburn, who just lost their head football coach. That's okay, though. That is such a crock of shit. I mean, that is so ridiculous and so biased.
And
Miami
they still
should be in
lost
there.
to Florida State, bro. They
Yeah.
lost to freaking Florida State. I don't care
Yeah.
if it's week 1. I do not give a damn that it's week 1. It's still Florida State. What's their record right now?
10-2.
No, Florida
Oh.
State's.
Oh,
What's
Florida
State's
State,
record
not
right now?
not 10-2,
Was it 5-7 or something?
5-7, or I think it's 5-7.
It's horrible. I mean, it's a joke. I mean, if we're not gonna, if we have a system where head to head doesn't matter and it's the same schedule, I mean, Notre Dame is pretty much having an ACC schedule. I mean, they almost lost to Boston College. Where's that conversation at? It was 12-10 at the beginning of the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
I mean, that's absolutely a crock of shit.
There's two
But
things.
we're gonna play with Notre Dame because they're a larger brand. That's ridiculous. That's stupid.
It definitely is stupid. And there's two things, GB, on this. I want weigh on this is not only is it head to head, but it's like they're saying because they're both Notre Dame is probably a better team now than Miami is.
Mm-hmm.
That might be true, but this is not supposed to be hypotheticals, especially when you had them already on the field. Head to head matters. Is this a slippery slope if Notre Dame gets in over Miami?
I think it's a very slippery slope because that means to you head to head doesn't matter, and marketing and viewership matters more because you'll have more Notre Dame fans out there than you would have Miami fans. And at the end of the day, that's really what it comes down to.
Yeah, and there's that slippery slope. And then there was also the ACC championship game slope. And so we'll talk. I don't know if JJ can still hear us while he stepped away, but we'll bring this up as well, too. There is a potential outcome in the ACC championship game that could probably have immediate changes for next year's playoffs. If Duke upsets Virginia, you are going to get 2 group of 5 teams in the playoff because you go with the 5 highest ranked conference champions. That's why you see those 11 and 12 in there. So you're potentially going to have Tulane and JMU in the playoff. If that does not warrant immediate change, just like I do give them credit by going with the 4 highest ranked teams versus the 4 highest ranked conference champions. That was an easy change to do. But JJ, if Duke upsets Virginia and 2 group of 5s get in here, that is just and on top of that, Notre Dame gets in over Miami. Like, holy shit.
It's horrible. I mean, at the end of the day, one, I don't agree with a lot of the ranking of the ACC. I mean, people, the ESPN tries to put out the ACC is not that good. Well, then why are they losing to the SEC? Why is the SEC so close to the ACC anytime they play? I think that's absolutely garbage on their end. That's absolutely ridiculous there. But at the same time, though, like JMU right now, they get in. Their head football coach is at UCLA right now. He's supposed to coach out the rest of the playoff. We'll see if that happens. But still, a group of 5, the fact that a group of 5 is even ranked is ridiculous. I mean, you look at the schedule. I'm sorry. I love Tulane. The John Summerall story is always great. He's getting ready to head to Florida. I mean, that's ridiculous. Also, too, let's really play it correctly here. How is Ole Miss still in the playoff when their head football coach and their play caller is not at Ole Miss anymore? Last time I checked, Florida State was held out because their quarterback was out. Not their play caller, their quarterback. And even though they had a great defense, it was ranked in the top 3 going to the playoff that year. That's ridiculous. That's an absolute joke. That shouldn't be allowed either.
Not consistent. One's an ACC team, one's an SEC team.
Exactly. For me personally, you look at for instance, the Big Ten. The only teams that should be in the playoff in the Big Ten: Ohio State, Indiana, and Oregon. Those are your 3 right there. Then you have in the SEC. I think Texas A&M, even though their schedule was pretty weak, they've done their job. They've lost 1 game. They're in there as well. I think that you have the Alabama stuff is really debatable. Georgia has done their job. Obviously, they have another conference championship game to get to. Ole Miss, there needs to be a question about that. Oklahoma, they've had some good wins in there, but man, they've been pretty close too. I just, there's a lot of facade going on. And to be honest with you, I kind of want to go back. If we're going to do this system, you might as well go back to the BCS. Go back to the BCS and allow them to pick the top 12 teams. I mean, so you have your 4 highest conference champions. Okay, 4 highest conference champions, and then you're at large bids. Allow the BCS to figure out, because there's too much human error here. I mean, it's absolutely ridiculous. Like, at least this year, there's no group of 5 team with a bye. I mean, that was absolutely ridiculous last year with Boise State having a bye. That was an absolute joke.
Arizona State.
Yeah, that was bad too. And even to this point, Texas Tech, okay, they've done a good job where they've beaten certain teams. But guess what? They've also, they have how many losses in the year? If I'm not mistaken here,
Texas?
pulling up their schedule here. There's a couple bad losses they had on there, I think.
Yeah.
You have them in here.
They lost to Ohio
They lost to Arizona State. They lost to Arizona State 26-22, who's an unranked football team. The same thing. Okay, they did a good job beating up BYU. UCF's horrible. Kansas State's horrible. Oklahoma State's absolutely horrific. Kansas is horrible. At least they beat Utah, who was a ranked team. They beat Kent State. Who else is on here? I think from there. So they've only had 1 loss all year. They're 11-1. So you give them credit, but you want to see them against these other teams right now. The same thing with BYU. At least they have 1 loss. If anything, I think when you look at the playoff right now, you look at the number of the teams through here. If you look at, Notre Dame should be out for Miami. And if you really wanted to put in there, bump up some of those teams, move them around, and put BYU in there then. Why is Ole Miss allowed to be in there then? So, like if we're playing rules by the same rules, I mean, there's just so much bias. It's just becoming ridiculous at this point.
Yeah, there is. And I think so. I believe that the change would either be bump into additional teams, 2 more teams or something, and get to 14. Especially if Duke upsets Virginia. Virginia gets in. Okay, it's their ACC champ. They're a top 20 team. So is what it is. But GB taking a break. We're gonna be wrapping up here soon here too. But it was just good. But yeah, did you see, and if anybody else saw, did you see the John Gruden how he was going to fix the playoffs?
I did.
I thought that was actually a really good idea, and I think that's a way of just to do the playoffs too. And it's a way to put more teams in, and I like it because to his credit, to his point, you got a lot of these teams are going to be idle, and other teams got to go play a game.
Yeah.
So
I get it. It's also too at that point, I think you can't penalize certain teams for a conference championship.
Correct.
If 2 teams are in there. I mean, but also too, you're adding in those games. I mean, what the heck? You're game planning them that day. I like it. It would be very entertaining, but you got to watch the player safety and stuff like that too. At the end of the day, I'd rather just go from 12 teams to 16 teams and just call it right then and there. You know what I mean? Yeah. And that's enough for me. And then have some underdogs in there. It reminds me a lot of the NCAA tournament or the College World Series. You got a couple teams in there that could be Cinderellas, but at the same time, though, football is all about being in the trenches. I mean, usually the best team always wins, unless you have some crazy coaching guys. But it'll be interesting, that's for sure.
So I'm going to finish up here with a couple questions. Let me see. Let me get everybody back to the full screens here. Smiles K7 got a question. What do you think about Pavia's Heisman chances?
I would be pretty pissed off if he won. I mean, if we're being honest, it should be Jeremiah Love or Fernando Mendoza. Those are my two. To be quite honest with you,
if you want to invite him to the show, if you will, go for it. Isn't Vandy, and maybe it's one of those fake accounts I have to look at too, are they suing or having some type of trying to get legal action for the selection process?
I didn't see that. I know he's trying to get another year of eligibility, which has been crazy enough as it is.
Which is crazy, yeah. So I mean,
I think he's a great football player. The story of Vanderbilt is great. I mean,
crazy.
They I think that's awesome that Vanderbilt has gotten from just the depths of hell to being competitive.
Yeah.
But man, if I'm picking a guy right now, I think it's Jeremiah Love out of Notre Dame. I think he is just
I don't
played.
think it's even close, bro.
But also too, Eric, you and I have watched it personally hand in hand. Fernando Mendoza had himself a Heisman moment against Penn State. I mean, that drive was absolutely ridiculous, even with Penn State being bad.
So Smiles like, yeah, I'm a Notre Dame fan, but my friend is an obnoxious Vandy fan, and all he talks nonstop about Pavia winning the Heisman. You know what?
Yeah.
And here's the thing about those Vandy fans is I feel like they're probably like the Cleveland Browns of college football. Any little bit of success now that they have, they've just been waiting to just explode and just be able to brag on their team. And like JJ said, I actually enjoy watching Vandy play. They're fun to watch. Pavia is fun to watch. I like seeing a team like Vandy who has been down for so long. I mean, there's been how many jokes on College Game Day about there's nothing guaranteed in the SEC unless you play Vandy or something. You know, there's all of these jokes and these shots at. So I'm happy for them. I was just down there this summer. It's a gorgeous campus. We were down in Nashville. For my daughters, went to a concert down there, and we got an Airbnb that was right near campus. Gorgeous campus, great place. I'm rooting for Vandy when I don't have a dog in a fight, but I think Pavia could be invited because it'll bring more eyeballs because he is like a very flamboyant player, and I do like watching him. But there is no doubt in my mind Jeremiah Love is the best player in college football. And you do got to throw what I think is the best quarterback in there in the gentleman from Indiana. So no problem with those two.
Yeah, Fernando Mendoza just from Indiana. But then again, like how I always look at it too, in my opinion, I thought Kenny Pickett should have won the Heisman because you take Kenny Pickett off of Pitt. Pitt's not the same team. They don't win 11 games that year. You know, if you take Jeremiah Love off of Notre Dame, they're nowhere near this. Like the games that he had to win those games, I mean, their quarterback's a redshirt freshman. CJ Carr, he ain't carrying them. He's had how many bad games? He threw 2 or 3 picks against Pitt. I look at it that way. You take Fernando Mendoza off that team in Indiana, it's a different story.
They're a 500 team at best.
Yeah. So I mean, I just think Jeremiah Love has just played. And again, by no means am I a Notre Dame guy. I want them to make the playoffs just to lose in the first round because it's a tradition. Notre Dame always loses the big game. They always do. I mean, heck, till last year, they hadn't won a New Year's Six Bowl or a bowl game, a major bowl game, since 1988. I mean, that whole fan base, too, 99% of them don't even go to Notre Dame, obviously. Yeah, that was nothing that pissed me off. But at the end of the day, I just think when you look at these guys, Jeremiah Love is playing at a different level and just how fast that guy is. And just, man, watching him play in person, I was like, damn, this kid's cat good.
That spin move, he spun, and I think he went 5 yards this way before he landed, then took off.
Yeah.
I mean, he was an absolute monster. Was it Malachi or so, number 0, the wide receiver for Notre Dame?
Malachi Fields.
He
transferred from Virginia,
Yeah. He's a great player. But
even that 4th down and 2 for Notre Dame against Pitt, Jeremiah Love gets the ball. Kyle Lewis is right there in the hole. He's going to tackle him. He makes a quick bounce. All of a sudden, he pops it right outside and goes for 22 yards. I mean, the dude's just a different running back. He's a special running back.
Yeah, there's no doubt that he's in there too. So, yeah, Adam has a good point here. If Duke wins, ACC better go back to the divisions. I agree 100%.
1,000%. Yeah.
Also, too, the tiebreaker should not be on percentage-wise. Because if it wasn't on percentage-wise, it was on based upon record and common opponents. Miami would be in the AC championship game. So I mean, but then again, I think Jim Phillips has done a horrible job with the ACC. He should be fired. There's a lot of stuff that's got to change there. And I think the ACC is a lot deeper than what people think.
Yeah.
You can see it, especially too when they're facing the SEC, the Big Ten. It's a little bit different. But these guys, they really got to get on board with a number of these other teams.
Yeah.
Cool. Hey, so we're gonna have a countdown here. We're gonna have 5 minutes and 10 seconds to go to hit 2 hours flat on this.
Wow.
So time, like Monday, time flies when you're having fun. And Mark has a question. I like both of you weigh. GB, if you want to weigh on this, and JJ, get your opinions as well. What do you guys think Pavia's NFL prospects are? What round? It gives him Brett Favre vibes.
Is he coming? Is he going to be drafted?
He's trying to get another year of eligibility.
Ooh.
Which should be in college for 42 years.
I would say that he's probably going to be like Tyler Shuck, where he's going to be kind of probably in like the second, maybe third round type. I don't see him as a first round guy.
No.
You know what I mean?
No.
Like I would see him probably. You may want to take like if you feel like he could be a potential starter for you, you may, take a shot at him in the late second or third. That's where I'd probably project him at.
Okay. JJ.
I got him going in the late 5th, early 6th round.
I look at him.
He's 6 foot tall. He's small. He's not. He's not. What's his name? We had here a couple of years ago, Russell.
Russell Wilson.
Russell Wilson. He's not Russell Wilson. Yeah, he's too small. I think that he works well in the college game, but I think he knows personally. That's why he's trying to get another year. He's a late 5th, early 6th round pick.
I almost went the whole episode, Gabe, and you look down, and I got the "Byah!" Every time, JJ, I get the stupid thumbs up on my plot. I have no idea why.
I look down because
I would say, I think he's a better version of Johnny Manziel. Because I do think it's going to be good for him. He should go to a good team and be a developmental guy. GB, I see your Tyler Shaw comparison in a sense because he's kind of beaten batter, but he's got some gamesmanship about him, like
he
Shaw
does have
had.
some games. Yeah.
And,
I mean, think about it. Like Vanderbilt is relevant in football.
Exactly. But I also align with
a lot
JJ.
Of it has to do with Diego Pavia. Like that's
absolutely. And he was like a New Mexico guy where he balled out a little bit too. So
yeah,
he
that's the feet, bro.
Yeah. I think he's a better version. I do agree with him. I think he's a late round. He's definitely 3rd round or later. All it does is take one coach to fall in love with him to get him somewhere.
Yeah, Cleveland. He's got a shot at Cleveland.
All day long.
All day long with Cleveland.
I do give him credit though. He's got good feet. I think he'd be a 1st round pick for Dancing with the Stars. But besides that, I don't put him in the 1st round.
Yeah, if NFL ever goes like a change of pace guy. Like a change. Like if there's ever a change of pace quarterback, like a change of pace back, Pavia is your guy.
Yeah.
So, all right. Well, I don't see any other questions coming in here, man. We are coming up on 2 hours. GB and I've been here the whole time. Obviously, do not feel like 2 hours, but JJ, I'm glad that you were able to come on, man. Even though you had the traffic.
2 full squishes.
I had 2 full squishes. Mom, man. I'm gonna get a couple drinks here afterwards too. It's been a long day.
Yeah, I got. I'm fortunate. I'm off tomorrow, so I'm gonna. Relax down here in the man cave. No more Fridays for me the rest of the year, so I'm gonna enjoy it, man. I need it.
Oh, dog, you have to, especially your man cave, guys. People behind the screen, people are watching this right now. My man Eric's got one hell of a man cave right now. I mean, I'll tell you what, it's
Dilly.
It's elite. That's how awesome it is. So
I'm taking a half a day tomorrow, Dudak, because again, we got to drive up to Mechanicsburg for the state chip against Northwestern Lehigh. The Lopes going to take this crown. First one in Avonworth Lopes history.
Yeah,
let's get it.
Northwestern Lehigh sucks. That's what I know. I watched tape on them. Guys are soft as shit. I thought they were soft. Then I went to Giant Eagle, touched Charmin soft. I'm like, nah, Northwestern Lehigh is definitely softer. Man, they're definitely softer.
He said, "This is soft, but that's softer."
Yeah, you know what I mean. I was like, Northwestern Lehigh. They're like fucking like clearance. Like this is like fucking like holy shit. They're like used
All
condoms at this point. You know what I mean? Holy shit.
Jesus.
Oh, Jesus. Right. Hey, so as we're getting out here, man, GB, where are they going to find you at? And all your socials and all of the stuff. And give us a shout out about what's going on the Growing Up Brown channel.
Oh man, growing up brown is a fun time. Let me tell you. Yesterday we talked about you're a Gen Xer and we talked about that. I had to blow in the Nintendo cartridge back in the
Absolutely.
day. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Remember when the screen used to go gray and white on you, and when it wasn't working, you'd be mad as shit, and then it didn't save because because it has save capability, so your ass had to start all over on the game and shit. Like you was just about to go fight Tyson, you know what I mean? You had to go back
game
to
quit.
Glass Joe. Oh, dude, that's it. Oh, you lived the Gen X life if you had to go through stuff like that. So that's the stuff we talk about. Good clean laughter and stuff. But
Awesome.
you can follow us and see us on YouTube at your_boy_GB. And you can also see us on Instagram at your_boy_GB. And you can find me on the Twitters at GB the Uppity Yinzer. Although I'm about to take the Yinzer part out of here, man, because the way these Yinzers been acting, I don't know if I can represent that anymore. I might just be GB from now on. Uppity, I'm
Here's
about to
your boy
retire
GB.
that shit, bro. I'm about to retire that shit. Don't put me in that category.
I'm uppity man.
I'm
Uppity man.
I'm a grown ass man. You ain't gonna be out here putting me out
Uppity
here.
lopes. Uppity lopes. That's what it should
There
be.
you go.
I'm a whole different. This is a
The
whole
upper
different
lope.
type of category, man. I'm gonna take the Yinzer part
Yeah,
off.
these Yinzers out here acting a fool, man. We
No,
can't.
Yeah.
I can't. Yeah, I can't be part of that, man. I can't be part of that. So, but yeah, but in the meantime, in between time, you can catch me on the Twitters at GVDFDinser, as well as on Facebook and TikTok.
JJ, what about you, sir?
You can find me on the Teeter Totter at JJ_Kitchen40. And of course, you can always follow me on Talking College Football with JJ Kitchen. Obviously, it's always good to get these guys on there. And if you have not done so, down below, make sure you hit the like button, subscribe. Please, if you've not already done so and you're watching this, subscribe to the Burgh Cave. Make sure you're subscribed to GB. And of course, as always and forever, don't be a hoe. Share the show.
Share
All
the
right.
show.
Share the show. Yeah. And please, like I said, we appreciate you guys every week hanging out here in the Burgh Cave. And we had a lot of people. You know what? I love that the number of viewers never went down from this whole
Nice.
2 hours. So we appreciate you guys hanging out with us the whole time. I got to show we're doing something right now. I appreciate you guys. I'm sure a lot of you are hanging with us while you're watching the Thursday night football game. We appreciate everybody. Appreciate the comments. Don't be a hoe. Share the show. Bring it out. Share it out to everybody. Help us grow the channel. Look for us on the X, on the Twitters. And we will see everybody on Monday night talking some Steelers Ravens. And make sure you check out JJ on Sunday Night Conversations at Talking Football with JJ Kitchen. So until the next time, see everybody on the next one. Take care.
Go to bed.
Lopes. Let's go.